Alright, guys, so today I want to react to, that man's right there, his tier list going into this year. So, he has a tier list, as you guys can see. Caleb Williams, sweepstakes, come on, watch our rookie quarterback, illogical optimism, good coach, bad roster, dark horse candidate, and some other options. So, let's go ahead and react to this. So, starting off right away, the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. This is every team that's going to tank, try to get the number one overall pick, and obviously go get Caleb Williams. You guys do not know this upcoming draft class next year. Based on what scouts are saying, there could be 5 great quarterbacks out of this next draft class. They're talking about comparison to Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, there's some really good quarterbacks, and the number one guy is Caleb Williams. So the Cardinals, I agree with that one. I think the Cardinals are going to be absolutely abysmal this year. And especially, with Kyler Murray being out for the first 11 weeks due to injury, he's going to take his time. He said he's not going to rush himself back. That team is done. With their new GM and coach, that team's a dumpster fire. Buccaneers, absolutely. I agree with that. Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask is not going to win probably over 5 games with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year. I disagree with the Commanders. I don't think the Commanders are in a tank now mode. Yes, they don't really have too many quarterback options. I believe they got Jacoby Brissett, though, which is actually not that bad. And they do have a decent run game in Brian Robinson and Gibson. And then they have really decent receivers with Scary Terry, Logan Thomas. Like, they have a decent offensive line and a really good defensive line. Their cornerbacks, they got a really good cornerback in the draft. Their defense is pretty solid, and yes, they have a tough division, but I would not say they're in a tank now. If anything, I think the Commanders could probably go 7-9, or maybe not 7-9, 7-10, and be right outside of the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be in any way a top 10 pick. The Raiders, if Jimmy G plays, right, and he doesn't get hurt, they are not going to be in the sweepstakes for Caleb Williams. I guarantee you that. So, I say I agree with 2 of these, and 2 are illogical. Now, the next category, I can't disagree with him because it's literally the only teams with rookie quarterbacks. Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud, and Bryce Young. So, that tier, okay, cool, whatever. I'll agree with that one. The illogical optimism. Oh, come on now. Okay, first off. Falcons, I get it. They almost made the playoffs last year because the NFC South is that trash can-ish. But I don't think they're that good of a team. And I know to say illogical, meaning that, this is crazy to say that they're going to do good this year, but I just wouldn't even put them in illogical at this point. I don't know where I would put them in all honesty. The Saints, with Derek Carr, Michael Thomas is not going to be healthy. Alvin Kamara is going to be out for the season. I wouldn't even put them in there either. I would probably take those both out. The Browns, yeah, I'll say. It's possible they make the playoffs 9-8 or 10-7. Probably not. I'd say probably 8-9, but I could see the illogicalness of it and say maybe, just maybe. The Giants and the Jets actually interest me a lot. I think the Jets are going to do decently good this year. I'd say they're going to go probably 10-7, and that's probably the best they're going to do. But still, nonetheless, though, they could definitely be a playoff team. Rodgers just gave up $35 million so they can sign more players. I don't think that's really illogical to say the Jets are going to be good this year. I know I don't think he likes Aaron Rodgers that much, but still, I think he could be pretty solid. The Giants. Now that Saquon Barkley signed his contract and he's playing, that's stupid to put them in illogical fallacies. Illogical optimism. Because the Giants, with Saquon Barkley, are an actually pretty okay team. They're actually pretty decent. They also just got the guy, Darren Waller. So now they have an actual legit tight end over there. I know they have Evan Ingram, who was pretty decent, but they got Darren Waller now. They have a easier schedule. They should be able to go to the playoffs this year. At least go to the playoffs in that 7th seed spot. This NFC is not that tough. The NFC is not like the AFC. It's not, loaded. The next one is good coaches, bad roster. Good coach, bad roster. I see there are so many people who are saying that Bill Belichick's going to get fired. And I still believe he probably will, in all honesty. He probably will. I think if he loses, I think it's like 10 games. He has the most losses of any coach of all time. And if he wins 10 games, I think he has like the most wins. I think Bill needs to retire. Bill is definitely, listen, Brady was there for the longest time, did amazing with the Patriots, took them to all those Super Bowls. Since he left, Bill hasn't even won a playoff game. And you might say, well, that's because Mac Jones sucks. That is true. He does suck. But it's been 5 years. Like, at some point, you gotta flip the script and say, Bill, what are you doing? If Mac sucked, why didn't you get some other quarterback? Why didn't you do this, that, and third? I don't think he's that good of a coach anymore. I think he is a Hall of Fame coach because for the longest time he was great. But everyone is not great forever. The Titans, they actually have a decent roster. Which is so funny because other than quarterback, obviously. They have a good defense. They have DeAndre Hopkins now, obviously. Derrick Henry. And they just don't have a quarterback. But I do agree Mike Vrabel was pretty good. The Rams, stop it. Just stop it. The Broncos have a good roster. I don't want to ever hear that crap. They got 2 elite receivers, a solid tight end, 2 elite running backs now because they got Samaje Perine. They have a good offensive line, and they have a star-studded secondary. This guy needs to shut up when it comes to the Broncos have a bad roster. The Broncos, Russell Wilson was the problem. And then it all got, it was Russell Wilson and Neil Hackett. Neil Hackett sucks. He should have never been a coach. He should have been OC, never been a coach. Russell Wilson sucked last year. That's period. But Neil Hackett didn't help. With Sean Payton, this team is going to be a playoff team. So I don't want to hear bad roster. They have a great roster. That's why it was so disappointing last year. All right, next one. Dark horse candidates. I don't think that with the Steelers, how easy of a schedule they have, I don't even think they're a dark horse candidate. I think they're a candidate easily that could make the playoffs. The Bears, I'm sorry. I don't understand the love for Justin Fields. I get it though. But this roster, I know they got DJ Moore. Chase Claypool's not going to play apparently. I don't think they're going to do that good. I really don't. Now, the NFC North is open for anyone, but I see the Bears this year as going 8-9, maybe 7-10. I don't think I know that's considered then a dark horse candidate, right? Because it's a team, not many people are going to say it's going to the Super Bowl or going to the playoffs, and they do. But I don't even consider them a dark horse at this point. I don't think they're going to do good. I don't even think there's a chance they do good. The Packers all depends on Jordan Love. I will say, though, because they have the team, the Packers do, to go for a run. If their quarterback can figure it out, they have the 2-star running backs. They have a very young receiving core. The oldest player in the receiving core is 25 years old with 2 years of experience. But they have the defense that they invested a lot of money in to get the job done. And again, the Steelers, they have a Mickey Mouse schedule. Fun season. The Lions will probably be the funnest season. The Vikings suck. Stop that. Get the Vikings out of this fun season crap. The Vikings last season looked so freaking good. So good. Then what happened? They got destroyed in week 17 by the Packers. Literally annihilated. 34-7? And then what happens in the playoffs? They lose to the Giants. Get out of here. They're frauds. I don't want to hear it. Seattle Seahawks. They might have a good season or fun season. But the problem is, I don't know if I trust Geno Smith to get the job done again. I think last year, everyone counted them out. Everyone said they couldn't make the playoffs. couldn't be a good team. They were a trash can. They were awful. And I think what ended up happening was because of that, look, they ended up being good. I don't think that's going to happen again. It is possibly, it couldn't. Yes, it absolutely could. I don't know. Podium spots. Oh my gosh. I always remember that Nick Wright has an absolute freaking man crush on Trevor Lawrence. He calls him the Prince. Listen, T-Law is good, but I don't really think T-Law is at that level yet. Podium spot, no. Chargers, absolutely no. The Chargers will charger every single playoff game. I don't think I think Justin Herbert, he should have gotten paid. He got paid what he should have gotten paid, but I don't think he's going to win a playoff game in the next 2 years. So I don't think at all. Tua can't stay healthy enough to be a podium spot. He can't. Jalen Ramsey just got hurt in training camp. So that team's going to be interesting. And Josh Allen's a playoff joke. I'm sorry, Bills fans, but the guy can't get it done. It is what it is. All right. This is going to be great. Super Bowl upside if. If what? Jerry Jones spends $60 million? Listen, the Cowboys can do it in the regular season. They choke in the playoffs every single year. They do it every single year. And Dak Prescott's like their mascot at this point of choking in the playoffs. Because he chokes all the time. Ravens and 49ers, I agree. If Lamar Jackson stays healthy, if Tom Monken's offense can work, they could make the Super Bowl. 49ers, if Brock Purdy is that guy, they can make the Super Bowl. Stop with this Cowboys crap. Just put a tier and just say, the Cowboys. Like, come on. Avoid the hangover. God, I forgot he hates us. I forgot he hates us. I don't know why I forget this, but I always forget that he dislikes us. Avoid the hangover. The hangover of what? Getting cheated out of the playoffs? The Eagles need to avoid the hangover because they're still not over their Super Bowl loss. I'm over our AFC Championship loss because, we're moving forward, but it is what it is, right? Avoid the hangover. Yeah, the hangover is the fact that we're about to beat them twice this year and go to the Super Bowl. So that's avoiding the hangover. But, it's okay. It's okay. Eagles, I don't think they're going to need to avoid any hangover because, in all honesty, if you're an Eagles fan or the Eagles in general, man, you got to feel bad because you guys sold in the second half of that game. That game was definitely in your hands. In the second half, it went downhill. 90s Bulls, of course. Oh my God, Nick Wright absolutely meat rides the freaking Chiefs so badly. I get it. Listen, I understand. It's easy. It's easy to bandwagon the Chiefs here. They won three Super Bowls. Let's talk all about the fact they won 3 Super Bowls. They won 2 Super Bowls. It's not going to happen again. I'm sorry. I hate to tell you that. It's not going to happen again. This time, there's a new team that's going to go win a Super Bowl. We're going to get the job done, and Burrow's going to have a fantastic season. So, you're going to be making that face. This is the face he's going to be making when we go win a Super Bowl. And we beat his little Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. And you know what? It's not going to be in Burrowhead. It's going to be in the jungle. And we don't take kind to visitors. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. Nick Wright, good job, buddy. Peace out.